Hello, LinkedIn. Day 11 of the 21-day LinkedIn Life Challenge. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Portugal. It is very sunny and warm and lovely and pleasant and wonderful. And I've been having a very reflective afternoon. And I spent this afternoon, or part of this afternoon, doing a little bit of an end of year prep, end of year reflection. And I wanted you to join me and do it together with me. So I would love you to say hi as you jump on. Also, it would mean the absolute world with me if you shared these recordings, these lives with someone you know would love it, someone who would benefit from it. You can do so on your profile here on LinkedIn. You can do so in a private message, sending that message to someone you have in mind. You can also find these videos on my YouTube channel and share the YouTube link. Whichever shape or form, it would mean the world to me. So today, I spent a few hours reflecting on the achievements of this year thus far. It's not over yet. We still have a few days remaining until the end of the year, but I love taking the time to create a list of achievements of the year. And I've been doing this for the last 5 years. And so every year I open my notes app on my phone and I write down everything that I consider an achievement. It could be that, I don't know, I celebrated 5 years full-time in the coaching business. It could be that I celebrated 7 years in personal development. It could be that I moved back from the Brazilian jungle in the middle of nowhere back to Portugal, to this gorgeous place with an ocean view right next to Lisbon. It could be that I spent 5.5 weeks with my family living with my 81-year-old grandma. It could be that I went to the US for the first time and I spent incredible time in LA. And I absolutely fell in love with it. And I am going to be back very soon. And I'm going to be a frequent visitor in LA. I can tell you that. So I was writing down everything. What I've accomplished, what I've learned, what kind of successes I've had, who I've met in person or not in person, what kind of things I did to myself when it comes to how I treat myself, who I have become throughout this year, everything, absolutely everything. So I want you to do the same. After this live, I want you to spend as much time as needed to write down all of your successes. Why is this so important? Is because instead of focusing on resolutions, like a lot of people are setting resolutions in the beginning of the year, and most of the people fail at actually achieving them. I love celebrating the year. I love reflecting back and feeling like a freaking badass because I made all of this happen. What it does, it makes you realize how much there is to be grateful for in your life. What an incredible human being you are. How creative, how resourceful, how kind, how loving. what an amazing person you are. It makes you feel so freaking amazing about your life, about yourself, that it sets you up for success moving forward for the next year. And so write as many things as you wish. Write as many things as comes through. Because I can tell you that nowadays I write 40, at least 40 bullet points of the achievements throughout the year. At least. However, that was not always the case. So I was reviewing the accomplishments, achievements, and intentions that I have set throughout the last 5 years. And the very first time, when I did it for the very first time, oh my goodness. First of all, I only had maybe 10 or 12 things that I felt like those were my achievements of the year. But also the things that I was writing down, they were so cute. They were so sweet and they were so cute. And that showed me how far we go, how far we've come, we, how much we learn in a year, 2, 3, 5 years. How much happens in such a short period of time, who you become and how much you grow. It's unbelievable. Because when I look back at those old lists, that version of me was, first of all, a little naive. And second of all, she thought she knew it all. She thought she's like, I know it all. I've got this. And yes, it's great that you feel like you've got this and that you believe in yourself. But looking back, it's just so funny to see that version of me who thought that I knew everything. And I was, of course, I was also learning and I was also investing in myself and I was studying a lot and all that stuff. But somehow there was also simultaneously this arrogance, arrogance about, see, see how much I know? And nowadays, I laugh about this because there's so much more humility. I've been humbled so many times throughout these years. It doesn't mean that I believe in myself any less. In fact, I believe in myself unconditionally. It doesn't mean that I trust the process or trust myself any less. In fact, I have proven to myself over and over and over again that, gosh, like this is just the freaking beginning of the journey. It's been such a fun ride. What a roller coaster. But you know what? I've been humbled. Several times I've been humbled. So when you start doing this every year, you will start noticing how far you really come. And some people spend time journaling, they have a diary and stuff like that. But to me, having one space, one document in which you store all of this information, it kind of locks the identity who you used to be in that moment. Because the way you express yourself, the things that you write down, the things that seem to be important at that moment in time, they really change. They shift. You grow. There's evolution. You expand, you move forward, you change perspectives, you learn something new about yourself, you collect some new information, some new knowledge, some new insights from within, some new wisdom that makes you realize, oh wow, okay, those things that I believed in the past, they are actually not true anymore for me. So it's a really, really fun exercise to go through. Now, what I also noticed as I was reviewing these documents, not only that I have achievements to celebrate all of your successes and to set yourself up for a successful next year because you're so much in gratitude and celebration and really treating yourself with utmost admiration, adoration, like, oh my God, you're so freaking amazing. You have done so freaking much. What an amazing human being you are. You've been better at your work in your business than ever before. You've achieved these awards. You are the best parent you could have ever imagined in the past. You have lost 5 pounds. You are in the best shape of your life. Isn't it amazing? So when you set yourself up for success, that's the energy which you bring into the new year, into 2025. Now, like I said, not only that I have achievements to celebrate, I also have intentions. And how intentions are different from resolutions or goals. So for me, intentions are more like a vision. You set a vision for yourself of what do you want your life to look like? Who do you want to become? How do you want to feel in your life, in your daily life? What makes you feel really excited? When you dream about that thing, what would really ignite fire and passion and drive within you? What would make you feel like, oh my God, I will do anything to make that happen? So, a dream, vision, or intention, however you want to call it. Now, how is that different from a goal or a resolution? Is that a goal has this connotation of, oh, I have to really achieve it, right? It's a very tangible, a very rigid, a very strict point of direction. And so when you look at your goals, there's some pressure added to it because if you don't achieve your goals, you feel like a failure. If you don't achieve your goals, then you feel like, well, you didn't really succeed in the year. However, if you focus on your vision, your dream, your intention, you're going in that direction, but you allow yourself to be flexible, to adapt to the circumstances, to shift gears whenever something happens in your life and you feel like you need to surrender to something that happens. Well, there is space for you to navigate, to somehow navigate a little bit in a different direction. You're still going in somewhat the same area. The North Star is still there, but now you're taking a slightly different approach. Now you're slightly changing what you specifically want. You are adding more color, you're adding more detail. So even if you don't achieve the vision, you're still creating the vision. So by the end of the year, you don't feel like a failure because you didn't make this vision happen. It's just a direction anyway. And that is why when you then review the year, you feel so accomplished and so successful and such a badass because it's like, oh my God, so much happened. So much happened in the last 365 days. So you see, what was really interesting as I was looking at the intentions that I have set throughout the last 5 years is yet again coming back to that arrogance that I had and feeling like, if I set my intentions to grow my LinkedIn audience, I don't know, to double it or to grow it to 100K followers, Or if I set an intention to, I don't know, 10x my business, or I set an intention to live in this incredible, gorgeous house that I own, or something like that. Well, these kind of intentions, they're very strict, right? Like I said earlier, they add pressure that is unnecessary. Because here's the thing, life happens, stuff happens. And what if you change your mind? What if you realize that it's actually not in the direction that feels in alignment with your soul, with your calling, with your heart? What if you actually realize that you need to break it all down and maybe burn your entire business down and start everything from scratch? What if that happens? So, as I was looking at all of those intentions throughout the 5 last years, I noticed that every single time I was ending super rigid, tangible intentions, even though now that I look back, they were actually kind of more like goals. Really, I have to laugh because most of them didn't come true because they were so rigid. So this time, as I was reflecting on everything that happened in the last year, on who I have become, of what kind of people I was working with and attracting into my world, and what kind of energies we were playing with, I realized that, you know what? It's actually not at all about those rigid goals. It's not at all about those rigid intentions. It's far more about who you become as a result of it. And so here is the very important bit of all of this. Vision is absolutely crucial. It's not about rigid, tangible, specific results or goals. It's about a vision. But creating a vision that is big and wild and crazy and lofty and it burns you from the inside. It's like there's so much it's so exciting. It makes you feel on edge. It's like, oh my God, is that even possible for me? So something that gives you a sense of holy moly guacamole, how am I ever going to turn to figure this out? This is crazy. Like, oh my God, people will think that I'm out of my mind. That is the type of vision that you want. You want a vision that really turns your soul on fire. However, it's not about being attached to that vision. So let's take an example. Let's say you have started your business a year ago. You have never had a business before. You were working in the corporate world prior to that. And now, this year, your intention is that you want to have such a massive impact that thousands of people will pay attention to what you're doing, will pay attention to what you're sharing, will actually want to be in your world. That feels very expansive, right? Thousands of people, thousands of people taking you seriously, thousands of people listening to you, thousands of people following you, really even searching for you online. Every time they go on a platform, they're searching for your name. That's what you really desire. That is a big, lofty vision. It's not about the number. It's not about, oh, I want 50,000 followers on Instagram. Who cares about the numbers? It's about the souls that you're touching. So your big vision has to be about the feeling behind. How excited does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like you have an impact? Does it make you feel like it gives you a sense of purpose, a meaning to your life, to your work, to your life's work? Because when you think about 50,000 followers, so what? Okay, well, maybe it's kind of exciting, but actually you probably don't even know what it means. You probably don't even know what it actually feels like in your body. But knowing that thousands of people are going to pay attention to you and thousands of people are going to benefit from learning from you, and thousands of people will be affected. You will change thousands of people's lives. Like, do you realize what a difference this has, right? So, again, a vision is extremely important. But when you detach from how it is supposed to look like, that's when magic truly happens. Because again, let's say if you had that vision of 50,000, or not vision, a goal of 50,000 followers, right? And then you don't make it happen, you feel like a failure. But now we take that vision of thousands of people being positively affected by your work. Now, it could happen that what lands on your lap is a book deal, and you write a book and you publish a book that touches thousands and thousands of people globally. It could be that you're invited on a panel or several panels, and you're sitting there with fellow experts in your area of expertise, and in one day, you affect thousands of people who are sitting there because it's an online and offline event. So thousands of people are watching and listening. You see, these two examples show how it's not really a matter of having this rigid way goals set. It's not about this attachment to how it's supposed to happen or when it's supposed to happen. It's far more about who you become as a result of that. It doesn't quite matter how I'm going to touch thousands of people's lives. It doesn't quite matter when it's going to happen. My intention is to make that happen. This is where I'm going. But you know why it's so important? It's because of who I am becoming. So who do you want to become as a result of that vision? Who do you desire to be? How do you envision your life truly? And I always bring this funeral exercise with my clients. I often bring this exercise where I want you to envision your own funeral. And I know it might sound like a crazy idea, but I promise you it's one of the most powerful exercises you could ever go through. So I want you, after this call, to imagine how would your funeral look like? Who would show up? How many people would show up? What would they talk about? What would be the atmosphere in the space? What kind of music would be playing? People having a little, snacks on the side. What will they be eating? People chatting with each other, chatting to your family members. What are they saying about you? People going in front on the stage, for example, if there is a stage. What are they saying about you? When you go through this kind of funeral, it gives you a sense of who you want to become. It gives you a sense of what is that vision? What is that intention? And yes, it's a bigger vision for a longer period of time, perhaps for the rest of your life. And again, so often your imagination cannot even comprehend yet what you actually want and envision and desire. But going in that direction of like, wow, okay, this is what people are talking about me. This is what kind of impact I want to have. This is the type of legacy I want to leave. This is who I want to become. This is how I want to be perceived. This is how I want people to feel about me. This is what I want them to talk about me. I want them to refer me to other people. I want people to talk about me in the most positive, powerful way in the rooms where I'm nowhere near. I would love people to mention my name when they're meeting someone really important. When you envision that, when you have that long projection over what you're about to create in your life, what you desire to create in your life, then when you're setting intentions for the next year, after you have celebrated all the successes and achievements of 2024, then as you're setting those intentions for 2025, you will have that big lofty vision of your life in mind. And as you will be setting those intentions, it's not going to be this dry, tangible, rigid, boring, stressful stuff that puts unnecessary pressure on your shoulders. Instead, it will be intentions that are like, oh my God, this is how I'm going to live my life next year. This is what I intend to create next year. This is who I intend to be next year. It's not about losing 10 pounds and becoming more fit. It's about, wow, I'm going to treat myself with utmost love and care. I'm going to be the most athletic because I am an athletic person. You see, it's an identity shift. It's not about the goal that you're going to lose 10 pounds and become fit. It's about their identity. You will be a different person, someone who is healthy, fit, athletic, who loves your body, who loves your soul, and treats your body as a temple. You see the difference? So I hope this was helpful. Sure, when your vision is genuine, it resonates with people who share your values. This attracts a loyal following that's interested in your work, not just your popularity. Indeed, that's a great point. All right. I'm really curious to hear any of your intentions and achievements and successes. Feel free to share in the comments or send me a message privately. I would love to see what you have accomplished in 2024 and what you're excited to create in 2025. That is it for today's live, day 11. Yet again, if you feel like someone would benefit from hearing this, celebrating them, acknowledging all the achievements, being grateful for what they have created this year, and they want to create something amazing, but they don't really know where to even start to set intentions and come up with a really exciting vision, go ahead and share it with them on your profile or privately, wherever it works. Thank you so much for listening in. Have a beautiful rest of the day and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.